All the funds raised from this event go towards combating veteran suicide. 70% of veterans that commit suicide have a hormone deficiency, and that's what the Core Medical Foundation does. Is we donate blood work, hormone replacement therapy, and telehealth to veterans and law enforcement officers who need it and don't have access to it. Relationships are everything. That's kind of the biggest thing that we're trying to put in this year is more time for people to sit around and to talk and to get to know each other and to talk about the event that we're doing. Anytime you're successful in any arena and you feel like you're in a place to share your lows and now highs, I mean, I think it's amazing. There's a lot of that goes on at the event. You know, there's people in different stages of their life, not just different walks of life, which is very true as well, but people that are dreaming to start a business or dreaming to change a position or get in shape. I think that event provides like a lot of hope for those people and a lot of great wisdom and directions to go. What's going on, everyone? Sidney Gordon here with my man Colton, who most of you guys know, who every single time flies to Florida has a problem getting here, but he made it. He's a hard time getting home, man. And here, it's saying something though. But thanks for coming in for all the year-end stuff and Military Appreciation Weekend. Thanks for having me. Preparation, I'm excited about that, man. And, you know, this year's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to let you get into that. But we're really excited. I get really excited this time of year for the event and getting to see the people I get to really see in person once a year most of the time. So if you're a newcomer to the event this year, this is kind of what you can expect, and there's gonna be some changes if you've been there before. So Colton will kind of get into that real quick. Yeah, man, I get super excited about it as well. It's always an awesome event. It's always fun to see. Every year, there's someone who comes year after year, and I wind up only seeing them at the event. So I'm looking forward to like seeing those people again. I'm looking forward to meeting new people. But what you can expect from as a newcomer, if you've never been, you know, there's going to be all kinds of amazing events. There's going to be, you know, a machine gun shoot. There's going to be pistol shooting. There's going to be a range day, and we're going to have incredible instructors out there. Blake Cook, guys like Dan Simmons. We'll have JR from Terran Tactical. We'll have a wide array of people and instructors out there. Some of the best in the business right now. We'll be out there on the range teaching and helping, instructing. We'll have an archery thing set up. We'll have you know, bounce houses for the kids. We'll have all kinds of different events. We'll have a small concert going. We'll have a auction and raffle. At the end of the day, all the funds raised from this event go towards combating veteran suicide. So for those of you that don't know, 70% of veterans that commit suicide have a hormone deficiency, and that's what the Core Medical Foundation does. Is we donate blood work, hormone replacement therapy, and telehealth to veterans and law enforcement officers who need it and don't have access to it. So that the Core Medical Foundation, every dime raised at this event, at the Military Appreciation Weekend, every dollar made will go towards combating veteran suicide through hormone replacement therapy. But it's a fantastic event. On top of all those good things, and on top of all that cool stuff, there's also it's going to be one of the best, in my opinion, like networking events. Yep. People that want to support veterans are welcome. People that are veterans themselves. We've got a lot of like veteran entrepreneurs that'll be there. It's going to be a fantastic networking event and a chance to come meet and see a lot of cool people from all kinds of different walks of life. So, and those people that want to engage aggressively this year and get some one-on-one time with Cody Alford, Nick Kumalatis, you got Blake Cook coming in, you got JR coming in, you got Dan Simmons coming in. We're going to have on Thursday. Yeah. So on Thursday, we're doing VIP tickets this year. And so kind of something that's not all of it's 100% decided just yet, but kind of the biggest thing that we're looking to do this year is do 20 to 25 VIP tickets. And what that gets you is an extra day on the front end. So that'll be the 26th of February. You get to come in for VIP day. That gives you access to a machine gun range. It gets you one-on-one instruction from some of our instructors that'll be out there on the range. Some cool shotguns. Yeah, you get Genesis Arms will be there with some really awesome shotguns. So it gets you access to a lot of different things, really cool opportunities and a really cool experience. But also when you get that VIP ticket, the other thing that you'll be getting is you're sponsoring a veteran to go participate in those events as well. So the cost will be covered for you for a VIP day, and a VIP ticket gets you kind of a little bit more access to everything going on at the event, as well as an extra day. But also you'll be covering and sponsoring an additional veteran or law enforcement officer to do the same thing.
And on top of that, we'll be having a dinner at my house that night for you guys. Yep. And we're going to do a social hour or two of basically everyone in under the tent or in one of the rooms and do a round robin. Hopefully we all get to meet each other, understand our businesses, what we do for work, how we can help each other, and hopefully inspire those that need to be inspired.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I love the event. Every year it's an incredible networking event. I meet people from every walk of life. I meet some incredible veterans. I meet some incredible people who just are want to support veterans. I meet people from literally every walk of life. But one of my favorite things also is that the good that we're doing. Working with the Core Medical Foundation, I get calls, and Matt works with us at the foundation as well. He can tell you we get calls just about every day of people who say, this changed my life. Mm-hmm. I was, going through that death spiral of getting out of the military and realized my hormones were off, and I was kind of in that getting terrible sleep, eating terrible food. My hormones were out of whack. I was losing my, relationship with my wife, the marriage issues. And a lot of guys are kind of brought back from that once they get their hormones in check.
And the community helps quite a bit too, because you're surrounded with people. I was just talking on the previous podcast that I did with Nick that it's really amazing how, between you, Cody, Nick, Matt, Ray, Rocco, you guys all had a very, very interesting career, I guess I'll say, in the military. Right? Yeah. You guys put in a lot of time, put in a lot of work, and you guys all faced very similar demons once you decided to go to the next chapter of your life. And if all of you guys are facing that, I can't imagine that that's not a pretty standard procedure for a lot of people to deal with, especially the special forces community I see a lot of. And when you go and you see the success stories of all these guys and you're in a place to where you might be down on yourself, it's a real jumpstart.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've been super fortunate because since I started my transition getting out, I've been constantly surrounded by other very successful veterans who got out 10 or 15 years prior to me getting out. And so I've kind of had these mentors that are like, hey, bro, I see what you're doing, and I kind of see what you might be going through that you don't want to talk about, but I know what you're doing. They see the signs and kind of steer me, almost like guardrailing me, Mm-hmm. I hit the little bumpers and it just helps me to navigate my path.
So, but my daughter goes bowling.
Put the bumper rails up. But I've had fantastic individuals that have kind of already been through and experienced that. But the more that I get out there and share my story and talk to other veterans, the more I see the same exact thing. So I'm kind of getting to pass that down mm-hmm. and say, hey, man, I don't know, just going out on a limb here, but you might be feeling like this, and this, and you don't want to tell me, but it's okay. And then it helps me to share that with other people when I've had people kind of steer me that direction as well. So I've been super fortunate in that regard, but it is a very common thing.
Anytime you're successful in any arena and you feel like you're in a place to share your lows and now highs, I mean, I think it's amazing. There's a lot of that goes on at the event. There's people in different stages of their life, not just different walks of life, which is very true as well, but people that are dreaming to start a business or dreaming to change a position or get in shape, and I think that event provides a lot of hope for those people and a lot of great wisdom and directions to go. This year too, we're going to be doing a lot of podcasts there this year, and take advantage of that. And one of the biggest things I think that we've missed in the past is what Colton said before, the ability for people really to build a deeper, relationship with each other that are there. And that's going to be provided this year for sure.
That's the number one thing that I got last year at our event was feedback. I had wives coming to me and saying, hey, thank you for what you're doing. My husband loves this event. Like, we talk about it all year. He can't wait to get here. He just wants to sit around and talk to you guys. He wants to go sit down with Cody Alford and talk to him and share stories. He wants to get out on the range, go to jiu-jitsu with Nick Kay, and go to jiu-jitsu with Kyle. Like, those guys, those veterans that we have here, there's a lot of guys that's what they look forward to. They love coming out. They love getting to interact and network with these people and build these relationships. And that they're like, man, I don't feel like I have friends back home to connect with. I don't feel like I have a tribe, I guess, per se, is the feedback that I hear a lot from a lot of different communities. The law enforcement community from, hey, I got out and I lost my tribe. And every year when I come back, this kind of reminds me of who my tribe is. That's the number one feedback that we got, was more time of us just kind of sitting around. It feels to me as like trying to plan an event. It feels like it's just empty space, but it's not. It's kind of some of the most important space of building relationships and networks. That relationships are everything. And so that's kind of the biggest thing that we're trying to put in this year, is more time for people to sit around and to talk and to get to know each other and to talk about the event that we're doing.
Yes. So what's super cool is I was just in California with Michael Johnson, the UFC fighter that comes every single year. He's supported us since year one. Every year he comes. For the last 4 years, he's fought within 45 days of the event, and every fight he's won prior to the event. And I just talked to him. I said, so what's going on? He's like, I have a fight January 24th in Vegas. and he's just like, you know what I think about during that camp? I can't let those 400 people down when I show up there. Like, I want to have that big win under my belt. And dude, that's pretty fucking serious. Like, cause I mean, for him, MJ, I love you to death, but I mean, and you have to have a little bit of an ego in your world, but you know, he's a very competitive human being. Like, he's super competitive, obviously. And he wants to be able to like go there and show that, like, you know, he fought that fight, and like, he wants to show up with a big chest, being like, you know, guys, I don't want to let anybody down, which is just like an amazing thing. I don't know very many MMA fighters who go into an MMA fight wanting to lose. No, exactly. But no, I mean, MJ's a savage, and like, MJ has been around. I mean, you know, even with Rumble, you know, me and MJ and Rumble were there, but I've been around MJ for quite some time. I love the fact that he supports, you know, what we're doing here and comes out to our events. In fact, I'm looking forward to rolling with him, hopefully tonight. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But I'm for sure looking forward to rolling with him at the event. But man, I don't know how going out there and putting on in a big fight and then also coming back out to our event, it's a lot. So man, I'm super thankful that he does all of that. It's a lot of work, what he's doing, putting in for that fight camp, and then to roll right out of that, right over to our event. Well, actually, he goes to the fight camp, then he leaves 3 days later to Mike's wedding, and then he gets back. He has like 2 weeks off, and then he leaves for South Carolina. So, stud. Yeah, it's good. But I mean, I can relate. So can you. I mean, it's, if you're sitting stagnant, you're sitting weak. Yeah. And it's super, you know, important to keep that schedule stacked. So you had an interesting year this year. You know, I was reflecting on your year when I was in my tree stand the other day, and I was like, wow, you know, the biggest part to me, and I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there, and then you can stem off of it, but like, I'd say 80% of it was just these like unexpected situations that happened over and over again, and it must have been like super surreal. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was also weird because I've always kind of prided myself on being like a super hard worker and like picking a goal and working towards that goal. And this didn't feel like that to me. It felt like a lot of these opportunities, you know, natural or no, it was like I didn't work hard for this opportunity. I just got the opportunity. You know what I mean? It was a lucky thing rather than it was a hard work thing. Your career prior to, you know, in the military was you have to outwork everybody, and right, yeah, and then you get promotions, and that's the way it works. Well, we have like I had a captain one time that had a rule where he was like, there will be a mandatory, it's not a bedtime, but you have to get out of our ops center, like the operational center. Everybody, because what happens is everybody's like working, they're like, oh, well, I'm done with what I have to do.
everybody else is still working. I'll find something else to do. And then it never stops because everybody's looking like, nope, we'll set a hard time. This is the stop. Get out of this room. Nobody's doing any more work anymore. He's like, otherwise everybody's going to try to be a hero and we'll all be too tired to do anything. But like, yeah, that's, I've always been proud of that, of my work ethic. And this just didn't feel like I was working hard towards something. It felt like the opportunity just landed in my lap. And it was something weird for me to get over because I was like, man, you don't even deserve it. Like that negative little self voice that was like, you don't deserve this. You didn't work hard for this. But it has been an incredible experience to be a military advisor for Jon has been.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just Jon, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you kind of helped all the stunt guys out.
Yeah.
You're pretty diversified. So let's back up. We were in California about a year ago, right? Eight months ago, the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And Jon asked me who he thought could help him evolve with combatives and this, that, and the other. And Nick Kay was on set helping with the script, and Cody Alford got offered to have a part, and I suggested that he interview Colton. Colton was out there with him, fell in love with Colton, and then kind of from there, I'm not really sure the chain of events, how you end up on the Punisher, but.
Well, so Jon invited us to the premiere for The Accountant 2, and we went out there, got to spend some time with him, got to like meet him, meet his family. Honestly, man, he's a incredibly real human being. You know, he's a good dude. It's not like he's not, you wouldn't know that he's famous if you didn't know that he was famous. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's actually, I wrote that in my notes the first time that I met Jon was he seems like he never compromised. Like this dude never compromised in life or like what his goals were or vision for life was. But he
proven by being kicked off multiple sets.
Yeah. But yeah, so I met Jon and we started a relationship, and then he asked me to be the military advisor. I think it was the weapons and tactics consultant for the Punisher. And then it turned into like a military advisor role for the next Punisher film. But every single time when we did the filming in New York, you know, I get up there and then the last second I find out, hey, you're going to play this role in this film. Kind of last second, like right before I flew out, I found out that I was going to be in the Punisher. And then once again on the other project that we worked on, while on like last couple of days of the contract, they were like, hey, can you be in this film? So yeah, not just doing the contract, but also being in front of the camera. Super weird turn of events.
Well, I mean, your first experience probably couldn't have been any better. You were up there with Cody and Nick and Jon. I know for a fact you guys were having a blast too at the same time because I was getting phone calls, driving around the city on scooters.
It was electric bicycles.
Oh, sorry.
All over New York City. We look like a 230-pound biker gang. It was hilarious.
On e-bikes.
On e-bikes.
Yeah.
We drove all over New York City, like across the Brooklyn Bridge on e-bikes, and it was hilarious.
I mean, I bet. So what are some of the takeaways that you got from that experience? And I want to go back. When you say that it didn't feel like you worked for that opportunity, I think you've been working your whole life for that opportunity. Like, I feel like anybody that wasn't, you would have been weeded out in day one if you weren't the right pick for that situation. And that would have been really rough. Right. So if you look at how maybe from, just so you said, relationships are everything, right? If you didn't take the time to build a really good, trusting relationship with me and didn't explain to me how qualified that you would be for this opportunity, I never would have said anything. So that's one point to Jon. And the next side of it too is like when I got to work with you for quite some time, so I know your work ethic. So I knew when you got there that it would be like a wow factor, right? And that's what happened, and that's why it rolled over into Spider-Man. I feel like, but what was like were you nervous? What was the biggest takeaway? Did you get comfortable immediately there? Because That's a lot of pressure. There's every minute that goes by is $1 million.
Yeah. Or more. Yeah. But especially coming on, I had a kind of a surreal conversation right before I flew out on the first one, the first Punisher special that we did. And this isn't a TV show now. It's an hour and a half. I think it's a 1 hour special is what they're calling it.
Okay.
That'll come out on Disney Plus. No, I was coming up there and there was a lot of like different words getting thrown around on my contract, and I was trying to figure out exactly what I was supposed to be doing when I got there. And it was like, like days away from getting there, and I was like, dude, I have no clue. So I called Jon. I'm like, hey man, I have like, maybe I'm teaching classes or maybe I've heard different things. So I've tried to prepare as good as possible for all three different outcomes that I know might be happening. And I just don't know if I knew what I was going to be doing, I could be more prepared for what I'm going to do when I get there. I'll have a 100% product. And Jon was like, bro, you don't need to prepare for this. You've been preparing for the last 20 years. He's like, just show up here. I was like, all right. Okay. I don't like that.
You do realize you're paying me a lot of money,
but but like that to me was kind of like, honestly, it forced me to like take a step back. Cause I was like, hey, yeah, you're right. I have been preparing for this. I have the information in my head. I don't necessarily need a product built out to go do this. And
Jon isn't that organized.
He's
the best dude in the world, but he's not that organized.
The industry itself is different than what I thought it would be. But as far as organization and like, you would think this would be like to the T timed, and things are just different. And I'm also learning that every movie set is like different, has a different feel. It's run differently. The two films that we've done had two totally different feels to how they were ran and how they were managed.
With the same production team. It was both
Marvel. No, it was different production teams.
Well, with the same
overall company.
Yeah. Okay.
But it just an incredibly different feel to both sets. And honestly, the more people that I meet in the industry and we talk about it, there's a lot of similarities to the military. You're filming for 8 months. So for 8 months, your regular life is on pause, where that's all you're doing is focused on this mission and your family life suffers and your friendships suffer and your any other extracurricular thing, hobby or jujitsu or whatever, all that suffers for the sake of this project, which is very similar to a deployment, Well,
that's why I'm surprised your wife still speaks with me. But what's cool here is like, probably the coolest thing that I heard was the story about, Jon getting her out there.
Yeah. So when we were in London, Jon had gotten a free ticket for his wife to come out, and she wasn't able to. And one day we were leaving set and we got in the car and he was asking me, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I said, well, I'll probably be on the phone quite a bit with my wife. It's her birthday. And I'll be here in London. He's like, bro, I've got
and when was the last time you were home for her birthday?
Yeah. I think we've been married for 12 years and I have been gone for all 12 of those birthdays. So the military just loves to deploy me around the end of October every year. I'm either out of school or I'm deployed every October. I have deployed before on her birthday, like boarding the plane. Hey babe, happy birthday. Love you. I'll talk to you in 6
Well, at least you're forced to do it. If it was during deer season, I'd just go.
But yeah, so I hadn't even been with her, like even during our marriage on her birthday, really ever. And then Jon ended up having a flight. His wife couldn't make it out. And he's like, let's just transfer it. So I got a free kind of like paid for vacation. Got to bring my wife out to London while we were working. We had a couple of days off. So got to spend the weekend together on her birthday weekend. And it was really awesome.
And then did you not take Spider-Man to his first jiu-jitsu class?
I did jiu-jitsu with Tom Holland. And I think he said it was his second class ever. But got to do jiu-jitsu with Tom and Jack, his head of security. Really enjoyed it. Some of the stunt guys came out, had a fantastic time doing jiu-jitsu with those guys. And from what I hear, Tom is really big into it now.
Good.
Jack said he's going all the time. So
That's sick.
Hopefully I spread the gospel of jiu-jitsu to Tom Holland.
That's amazing. So, give me like give me one story other than those that you were either like super proud of from that event, or a story of like what you were hired to do and you feel like you like overachieved that opportunity for Marvel and for the production team without thinking you're pissing anybody off.
I mean,
they adopted stuff from you, or
yeah, I got to do some, man, it was really interesting, especially being a complete outsider. I know that a lot of people work very, very hard for many, many years or most of their life to get on some of the movie sets that I've been very fortunate to be on, kind of out of luck. But showing up there and being a complete outsider and not knowing what was going on, it's kind of like tiptoeing my way in. I don't want to step on people's toes, but I'm trying to, at the end of the day, letting people know, hey, I'm just here. If I can help make the movie better in any way, I don't care. If it's helping you with your job or helping you with your job or helping Jon with his job, whatever I can do to be of help. My first contract with them was it was only a 3-day contract. But when I got out there during that 3 days, we didn't have any of the time to do the things that we said we were going to do.
Is this Punisher or Spider-Man?
Punisher. I got out there. Jon was not only did he write it, and then I think he was the producer, and also was acting in it. So he had all these producer meetings that he had to go to, and all the training time that we had kind of just went away. We had very, very little training time. And so I ended up just extending how long I was going to stay there. I ended up staying kind of on my own dime. I didn't have to contractually, but I was like, I don't feel good about what I've done for you. Mm-hmm. I'd rather give you what I feel like is your money's worth. I'd rather prove my worth to you, even if it's at my own expense. And I did. I got to stay over, and it turned into a really awesome thing. I got to be of a lot more value because I stayed. But I think that went a long way with the production team. And I think it also went a long way with Jon himself of, hey man, I'm not here just for money. I'm here to help with the film. If I'm going to say that I'm helping, I want it to be the best quality product that it can be. Mm-hmm. And then going over to like, the Spider-Man stuff. Yeah.
You weren't even supposed to go to London in the beginning of the contract. I thought it was like all Zoom calls or something.
Well, yeah, it kind of continuously changed. Jon was trying pretty hard to get me out there. And then once I got there, I'm super fortunate that I got to go. I had a blast. I learned a ton, but also I think it was good. It was a great thing that I got to go, because there were a lot of super simple things that I could help out with along the way. Everything from helping change like what lines Jon says or how this goes. It really helped us kind of refine what that relationship is going to be like going forward. Something that I loved that Jon said, I don't know, one of the takes that we did, it was like take number 47. And it was just a difficult little scene to get. But they were in the middle of filming, and I had a thought occur to me, and I was like, dang, that would be really good to have him do this. I let them finish up. They wrapped for the day. Me and Jon were leaving the studio, and I told him about it. And he's like, bro, I wish you would have told me that right then. And I was like, man, there was number one, there was 100 people in that room. It's a tiny set. I couldn't get into you. I'd have had to like stop everything. It would have really stepped on some toes. I was like, number two, in the moment, there's no way you would have heard. You'd have been like, not right now. And he was like, okay, that's fair. He's like, but look, right now, I'm mad at you for not telling me. But if you would have told me, I'd just be mad at me for not listening to you. He's like, he's like, you're here to advise me, so just advise. And if I don't listen, then I don't listen. He's like, but tell me. Then it would have been on me and not on you. And that was kind of the one like
pivotal moment.
Yeah. I was like, okay, now I see what this is. Like, whether it's dumb or not, I'm going to say whatever kind of comes up to me, and you give me the feedback on what you think. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it just gave me a chance to really kind of refine what that process looks like working with Jon on set.
Do you know what's super cool now is that like these guys, a lot of these actors, Heat was the first movie that was like really badass to me. The first Heat was badass to me. They had like really cool guns at the time, and it was like,
oh, I've watched that movie 200 times.
I mean, that was the first time where it was like not like unrealistic. There was unrealistic things in there, right? But it was fucking good. It was a great movie, right? Well, what's super cool to me now is that, like, I think there was one scene that you corrected. It was either you or John that was telling me that, like, he came in and there was a threat with a hostage, and then there was two other dudes over here, and they were doing things backwards to where they didn't eliminate the threat on the hostage first, and it went there. To the normal civilian, that doesn't make a difference. But what's really cool is that, like, when you have guys like you on the scene, it's perfecting what real life would be like, especially portraying the fact that he was in the Marines and had this big career. He would have known to have done that properly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that really is what my job is to help him bring the reality of being a special operations, former special operations guy at performing these things. So, like, what makes Frank Castle is, you know, his background and his history. I just really read a bunch of the comic books, and it's super entertaining to, like, go back. I haven't done that since I was really, really young.
You still have them?
No, I ordered a bunch of them.
Okay.
And so I've just been, like, sorting through. But, like, looking at the tactician that Frank Castle is in the comic books and trying to bring that to life. And I will say that's one of the coolest things of working with Jon is he's super passionate about, like, bringing real veteran issues to his series and to his show and to the Punisher, not just making it about some mindless shoot 'em up. It's, like, also kind of has, like, a message and, like, shows some of the issues with veterans that's currently going on. If you watch season 1 and season 2 of the Punisher, I mean, it's really, really cool. I love the role of Curtis on that show. But he brings those things and he takes it very, very serious. Like, he wants to properly represent, you know, the Marines and special operations guys on camera. And so to try to bring as much, and at the same time, it's also Hollywood, you know? So there's going to be some dramatization. There's going to be some unrealisticness to it. But that's okay. So trying to make it as realistic as possible, but also make it entertaining is a fun dynamic to play with. It doesn't have to be doctrinally sound at every step of the way, as long as it looks good on film and is entertaining and as realistic as possible. Because there's a fine line. You can get on set and demand that things are, like, doctrinally correct and, like, super realistic, and then it's not entertaining at all. You know what I mean? So, and then you're just hindering the process.
Exactly. Yeah. So my favorite picture in the world is going to pop up here right now. I have it as my screensaver now. I never thought Colton would be a police officer, but he's got, when Jon sent me this picture on set, dude, I was dying laughing. It was just unbelievable. And I know Deemer really well. And it's super cool. Like, the fact that that's actually a badass picture. But there's a lot that goes into, like being invited to go the first day, and then ended up being on set two times in a row, which is in fully acting, which is even more wild. But you know, when you know two parties and you know what one party's capable of and what one party needs, and, you know, indirectly I had the ability to kind of help that along. Like, I knew success was going to happen. You know, I told you the whole time, and it was just super cool.
Well, it's also crazy because that relationship, like, when I met Jon, it was like 4 or 5 years ago at a military appreciation weekend. And we started talking about Sock P and Greg Thompson and all these different things. And I think they were about to film season 2
of the Punisher. Yeah.
Of the Punisher. And he asked me to do the like, come and do some combative stuff and, you know, all this, like, go out and kind of do some of what I'm doing now. He asked me that back then, and then it never worked out. I ended up deploying right after, and, like, he was calling, hey, we're going to start filming, and I was doing my workup to get ready to deploy, and it just, none of the timelines matched. And then to get reconnected later, it was a pretty cool, and hey, now the timing is right. Like, it just kind of like it felt like it was meant to be, honestly.
Well, the best part ever of the conversation was, Wait, you're by Shreveport? I love Shreveport.
yeah.
Colton's
Yeah.
like, bro, no one loves Shreveport.
Yeah. That's like, as soon as we met and he's like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Louisiana. He's like, oh, I love Louisiana. He's like, what part? I'm like, oh man, around Shreveport. He's like, dude, I love Shreveport. I'm like, dude, I'm from Shreveport. Nobody loves Shreveport.
Yeah.
And I think I told him like, dude, you ain't got a lot of kick it, John. And then he was like, no, dude, for real. Like Herbie K's, I know, like just starts naming all this random like Shreveport fun facts. And I was like, what is happening? What are you talking about? Dude, we get to talking. He starts talking about Caddo Parish Sheriff's Department and like starts naming guys from the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Department that I know. One of them helped me start Blackbeard Solutions, my training company, like has been an incredible mentor to me. I've done a lot of work with that SWAT team and just crazy that he's like explaining some guys like, oh man, he's a short, like a little Asian guy. I'm like, dude, I know exactly who that is. That's the dude who helped me start my training companies. I say his name. I was like, that's Stephen Joe. And he's like, what? How do you know Stephen Joe? Yeah. There's just such a weird.
Can't trust a guy with two first names.
Yeah. But we going from there and then finding out that he's spent time in Shreveport. He's written a TV series about Shreveport.
Which is freaking amazing.
Yeah. He gave me the script for that while we were in London working together. And it is,
I saw the trailer.
Freaking incredible.
It's unreal. He spent almost, since I've known him, he was writing that script the year I met him. It's 10 years now.
Yeah. He said it's been 10 or 11 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is absolutely crazy. What, so like, I know both your kids and like, what I'm excited about is like, some back-to-back red carpet events with those two little terrorists out there. That's going to be a blast. Can you imagine Knox out there? He's going to be so pumped up, dude.
So my son is very reserved and he'll probably just stand there.
The
problem is going to be my daughter. Yeah. Cause she's just going to eat it up. My son is like me, doesn't really like being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Gets uncomfortable very quickly when you're like in front of a bunch of people.
I don't know, man. I think he's going to be really proud. And then to see you on like a movie and a TV show, it's going to be like so sick.
Yeah.
Like just think about that's crazy because it's not like you've had a video camera. Well, you've probably had a video camera on your whole life, but you couldn't really play the last 20 years of your life for him, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, Avery's going to eat that up alive. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to even get any other pictures other than on Avery. you know, because when we were at the Accountant too and on the red carpet all together, that was the most press that I've ever seen, like in my entire life. And if you look at the pictures, there's so much press going on. You know, you've 3 different chambers of that carpet with 50 cameras per chamber, 30 cameras per chamber, and you don't know where to look. So in the first 3 pictures, all 5 of us are looking at a different direction until we got our shit together. But like it was super cool. And to see Juliet out there with Jon was just unbelievable. And like those experiences make it really all worth like not having dad around 24/7 for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it up, but they can actually see, very unlike what you've done before, like what's going on. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Well, I think for the younger kids, you can get away with a lot when you're in the military and you're gone a lot. Cause you can say, well, you know, daddy's going to fight the bad guys or, you know, daddy's, defending your freedom, whatever. But it kind of loses its luster when you actually have to explain, you know, well, actually, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But the older they get, the more you have to like, you know, explain that away. And it's not just this like golden thing, but now with this, I mean, number one, the paycheck is different. And then number 2, and that helps. But number 2, that film will exist for life. You know, like the rest of my kids' life, my kids can show their kids that film and say, well, that's your grandpa, you know?
It's a legacy.
Yeah. And so there is a product that they can see kind of what I've been working on rather than just be like, well, hey, I'm back. Now let's start life over again.
Nice. So we got about 10 minutes left. And on top of that, all of this amazing information that was just provided in a massive year of accomplishment. We have some other great things going on this year. with the Military Appreciation Weekend on top of that. One other event that we're going to be doing. You want to just kind of give a highlight of that real quick so we can push that out as a reel? The event that you'll be doing with Cody Alford.
Oh yeah. So we'll be doing a kind of putting on an experience. We'll have 5 different former special operations guys going out and doing courses and classes, doing like a leadership and
No. Not enough info on it. Okay.
No.
Just go back. I'm gonna do a cut, and then when do you leave tomorrow?
Yeah.
We'll come back in. We'll have an outline done. That way, I just have a short for that.
Okay.
So we're gonna start basically back from
where we started before.
Okay, ready? 3, 2.
So after all that accomplishment, in a very short period of time, I'd like to congratulate you, dude. I mean, it's amazing to see you grow and see all the people that you affect, and how you're the type of guy that in any situation that you feel is right never says no, I can't help you, and it's inspiring to see, brother. And I hope next year's even better.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.